My husband and I founded Hannah's Hope Fund back in March of 2008, following the diagnosis of our youngest daughter, Hannah, with giant axonal neuropathy. It's a single gene, autosomal recessive neurodegenerative disorder that takes life in the late teens or early 20s after rendering these patients quadriplegic, dependent on feeding tubes and ventilators. Hannah is now 11. She's doing fairly well, but the disease is having a severe impact on her. We're really trying to hurry. We've funded a novel gene delivery to the spinal cord, first in human, to go into the spinal cord with a therapeutic gene. And we have all regulatory approvals. It was posted on clinicaltrials.gov in February. They're recruiting patients, and we anticipate the first patient should be injected in the next 3 weeks. When Hannah was first diagnosed in March of 2008, the first thing we did was host the world's first symposium on GAN. So we brought about 22 researchers together in Boston for a day and a half to discuss everything known about the disease and to prioritize therapeutic approaches. And the number one approach coming out of that meeting was to pursue gene therapy. So we immediately started funding UNC at Chapel Hill Gene Therapy Center, Dr. Stephen Gray. And he actually came to the symposium to learn about the disease and to assess whether or not any gene therapy vectors they were working on could impact the disease. And we had about 6 years of preclinical research actually to get to the IND. But 3 years, 3 months after we started working on the gene therapy project, we had our pre-investigational new drug meeting with the FDA. Our tox studies took a while, and the regulatory process took far too long. I'm actually advocating for a national IRB for gene deliveries so that experts can be weighing in on approval of gene therapies taking place, for example, at the clinical center at the National Institutes of Health. Gene delivery is pretty new, but it's being worked on for many different indications, both clinically and preclinically, all around the world. So we're really hoping Dr. Collins formulates a national IRB for gene deliveries so that all gene therapy trials to happen in our footsteps at NIH will have a much more expedited regulatory process.